All right, let's try this. Hello, 1, 2, 3, testing, testicles, testing, hello, syphilis. What's good, guys? It's so generic, it's sexist. What's decent, everybody? Now that I've got a little spare time during the summer, I was looking through my to-do list and I noticed make video, what I've learned as a small streamer in 1.5 years. So here I am telling you what I've learned in 1.5 years as a small streamer on Twitch. You might ask yourself, well, Kvek, what have you possibly been able to learn in 1.5 years of streaming as a small streamer on Twitch? Or maybe you didn't ask yourself that question at all and you're just here like to leave a dislike because it's another one of those videos. Please don't. Even though it's another one of those videos, I can agree that there are a lot of videos already out there on this exact subject. I still kind of want to ventilate and share my views on the good and bad of what I've learned in 1.5 years as a small streamer on Twitch. If not for you, then for myself, because one, I don't really follow all of these things that I've learned myself, and I could probably watch this in the future to keep on learning from myself. And two, I am a selfish cunt. I'm going to try to keep this as non-generic as possible based off of my experiences and not just have another video on what's good or bad to do on paper. Every stream out there is unique, and watching a YouTube video like this one and applying everything that you hear to your stream might not always be the best way to go about it. Your kilometerage may vary. Yes, that's a word. All right, are you ready? No? Well, we're gonna do this shit anyways. I'm not a person that gets stressed out very easily. However, having a more active stream is a difficult task to do and sometimes can actually be even more demanding than a full-time job, at least in my experiences. Like, not always, of course, but if you really want to up the quality of your stream, then you're gonna have to learn how to edit in programs like Vegas Pro or Premiere for videos, or Photoshop or GIMP for photos, and tons of other things in general, to be honest. For me, getting good at these kind of things have actually kind of come naturally, not to brag or anything, because, you know, I still work really hard to actually get good quality content out there, and it's not an easy task, but since my brother and his friends actually used to do a lot of video editing when they were young, I kind of started fiddling with it myself a little bit at a very young age. So I've gotten the basics of it. I know exactly when to cut and how to cut, most of the times at least, and I think it works out pretty well for me. Another thing that I want to mention as well is that to edit something from tons of raw footage into something very small and delicious, it's a very difficult task to do that, and even I, after learning all of the editing fundamentals, still haven't really mastered that shit yet. In my past PUBG videos, I had like 20 minutes of footage from, I think, 20 different games. Currently, I have like 5 or 6, maybe 7 minutes of footage from more than 20 streams, and I find that a lot more enjoyable to watch. It actually takes a lot of time to be good at these things and to learn everything that you need to do to be able to have a smooth workflow. In the beginning, a video that's like 5 minutes long might take you days, even weeks to make, but after a while you'll realize that, oh shit, I can actually do this in a couple of hours. But of course, there's always these generic problems with these programs that you really can't do anything about. For example, crashing or just your computer being slow. Well, you could buy a new computer, but trust me, your programs will crash. Prepare for that and use that damn save button. I'm telling you, use the save button. Control S. Very important. Do it. Control plus S. Just put that into your brain. I swear to God, dude, I hate every single time I lose a project because of a crash. And it'll make you pissed, definitely. And it'll make you stressed as well. This really brings me to my point, actually. Anyone who wants to do a little bit of streaming can simply just download OBS, watch a YouTube tutorial on what settings are good for your setup, and simply click the start streaming button every single time you start a game. That's fine. That's actually probably the way that I would recommend you to start streaming if you actually want to get into the streaming business. However, in almost every single case out there, that will not take you to where you want to be in your streaming journey. At least it wouldn't for me. If you start up your stream like that and you just simply press that button every time you play a game and you expect to get a following in a few days, I'm sure that's possible, but the odds of that happening is kind of like looking for a weird bird in a magical tree that you saw in your dream somewhere, where the only way to that tree is like crossing a 200-meter plus high wall made of solid ice, only to be met by a huge zombie-infested forest in like negative 40 degrees Celsius. And you're stuck in a wheelchair. Wait. Again, my point is that if you really want to start taking streaming seriously, you will have to put in a lot of time and effort, more than you probably think that is necessary. If you don't already have the time to spare, stress can really start creeping up on you, and I don't believe that it's a good idea to start streaming if you already have a shortage on time. That being said, I haven't really had a massive amount of spare time myself. I'm in college or university, and I had a part-time job for a while last fall, at the same time as I was pretty much the only drummer in a marching band, also being active in a committee at the university. It's been quite rough at times, let me tell you that. But as a result, my streaming community has suffered from me simply not being able to prioritize my stream above everything else. Like, since I needed money, I needed to prioritize my part-time job. And I didn't want to opt out of the committee since that was so much fun. And the orchestra was like demanding a drummer, so I really couldn't opt out of that. So streaming was something that I did sometimes 7 times a week. But other times I did it like once or twice a month, which really took a dark turn when it came to my streaming journey. And that brings me to my next point actually, consistency. During the time where I was active in all of these things, the orchestra, the school, work, etc., I had a few weeks where I really didn't do anything at all. Like at the end of January or beginning of February this year, I finished all of my concerts, school was really chill with no exams whatsoever, and I hadn't even joined the committee at the time. So I had quite a bit of spare time, which I, of course, spent streaming. That month, I think I streamed about 25 out of 30 days. Most of those streams being close to 4 hours or even more, probably like closer to 6 each. As a result, I peaked in followers, I peaked in concurrent subscribers, and my community was growing like never before. The Discord was blooming. Then I joined the committee, started practicing for a huge concert coming up in March or April, and my part-time job started needing me more. Oh, did I mention the full week of exams where I had no time but to study? Yeah, fun! As you probably already realized, I had little to no time to sleep, I had little to no time to stream or do anything else but to, well, attend to those other things during my spare time. And then to top it all off, when I came back from my exams and my concert and all that, I went for a skiing trip with my family for a whole week, and of course I didn't want to miss that. But then again, my stream suffered. Of course, the result of this was that I disappointed all of the people who put their trust, money, and faith in me to be live and be that entertaining dude that I had been for them, at least I hope that I had been for them, for such a long time. They really trusted me into building this community that I set out to do. And I tried my best, of course, but there's always these things in life that is gonna come in the way, and you need to prioritize what you think matters most. I think you really gotta sacrifice those fun nights out, and sometimes actually sacrifice your friends to be with your stream and your newly made friends and your community to take responsibility for that. That's how I'm feeling, at least. If you don't do that, and if you miss even 1 or 2 streams because of a party that popped up from nowhere that you really want to go to, your community will not feel very important. It's just not gonna go very well for you. Coming back from that dip and that ski trip was a really difficult thing for me, because I felt really bad, both mentally and physically, of course, like due to the sleep deprivation that I had during the time. Like, exams are really creeping up on you when you're in the university. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't depressed or anything like that. You shouldn't feel bad. I was actually having a great time, but it's difficult to keep up a stream consistently while you're doing all of these things. I just came down from this high feeling that I never had before, that I might actually be able to pull this off. I might actually be able to build this community that I had been longing to build for such a long time. And then all of a sudden, I hit an all-time low with my followers. But it was a really difficult time for me. Don't break communication. Get other social medias, get in touch and stay in touch with your community. Build a Discord, get a Facebook page, get an Instagram, get a Twitter. Like, put yourself out there, because the community needs to hear from you, or else they're gonna forget about you, and that community that you started to build is just gonna slowly wither away. Disappearing without notice is the absolute worst thing you can do in those kind of situations. Next topic, schedules. A big part of growing up, God, I hate being a grown-up, is managing of time and planning ahead by scheduling. This is especially important, not only for you, hashtag how to be grown up 101 with Kvik, but also for the people who want to come back and watch you again, so that they know exactly when they're able to catch your stream. As I mentioned before, everything that I'm saying right now is not necessarily things that I've implemented well myself, but it's things that I've found being of very high worth. I wish that I could have a schedule for every single day of the week, right? I think everyone really wishes that it would have this automatic scheduler that would solve their life problems and solve their life puzzles easily for them. But that doesn't exist, unfortunately, and you're gonna have to put in some time and effort to get a good schedule out there. Because one can only plan ahead so much, right? I can't set up a schedule like that, but you can set up a preliminary, is that a word? Preliminary schedule, and it really helps out immensely with getting people to the starts of the stream. Also, if you're gonna have a schedule, stick to it. If you miss your stream as much as one time, or you're late a couple times, or even fail to mention that you'll be late, how can we trust that you'll actually be live when you say that you will? Be honest and stick to your promises, or else your community won't be able to trust you. While we're at it, why not keep on bashing on myself a little bit, things that I don't do really well? This next thing is something that I'm simply horrible at, and it's just reading chat. I remember back in the day when chat was empty like 99% of the stream, and every single video that I watched was like, oh, Herder, you should always keep an eye on your chat and respond to your viewers. Naturally, my response was, well, there's not a single fucker in the chat, you dumb mother... Now, trust me, there will come a day when your chat is going to be overflowing with people. It may be tomorrow, it may be next year, I don't know. But that day will come. And when that happens, by God, please don't follow my horrible example of reading a message every 10 seconds and think that you won't miss any messages. Take full attention to the chat, because that's the absolute best way of building a community and having a nice interactive stream. If you want to prioritize your streaming, that's exactly what you should do. Focus on the damn chat, okay? Like, this whole thing with the chat is so damn difficult for me, since I probably read slower than a drunk, passed out snail overdosing on morphine, and I also rarely take time to actually just read through everything that's said in the chat, which I should, and I'm trying my best to get better at that. That's another little point in there. Always strive to become better, okay? Have you fallen asleep yet? I hope you haven't. We've talked about this a lot already. This is probably the most important part, at least for me. If you want people to watch you play games and get paid for it or whatnot, this doesn't matter too much. But if you actually, like me, have an ambition to build a community, then you already know how important it is to keep interacting with your community, keep trying to build upon that community. Also, try being active in other people's streams and not your own. I know a lot of people say this as well in YouTube videos, but one part that they sometimes fail to mention is don't only be in their stream and say, hi dude, I'm gonna lurk now, goodbye. Actually engage with them. Join the Discord, what the hell, get to know their people. 9 times out of 10, you're actually gonna get at least 1 or 2 viewers from getting into another community. It's not really a coincidence that you like them as a streamer. If you like them, they probably would like your stream back as well, somehow, and their viewers would attend to you too. But never force anything. Find actual channels and people that you care about, that you think are entertaining, and that you feel that you personally could contribute to. Basically, you should watch a stream with anyone that you feel like, yeah, I could have a coffee with this dude. Or do that. Size matters, okay? Well, consistent streams are great. You constantly show yourself on the website and show the community what you're all about if you stream more. However, let's say that you're streaming for 10 hours a day, right? Could be pretty good. Let's also say that little to no one watches you. Could be pretty bad, right? Now, the reason as to why this might happen is probably unknown to most of us, like no one can know for sure, but one cause might be that you're doing the exact same thing day in and day out for these 10 fucking hours. I can't believe how many people I've seen on this grind for legitimately months, sometimes years, have gotten little to no rise in followers at all because they're doing the same thing. I'm telling you, you gotta switch things up. You gotta keep on evolving. Now, where does stream length come into this? It's better to have smaller streams every now and again than to have a huge stream where you're not as effective. Every single time someone pops in, let's say you're doing a 10-hour, you are so much more likely to be slightly inactive or be low on energy if you're doing a 10-hour stream than if you're doing a 2-hour stream and being consistently active during that whole thing. Quality before quantity is a thing. Size does matter, but keep it decently short still, right? Why does everything I say come out wrong? Like, I like to take the example of, imagine you watch the same TV episode 20 times in a row. Like, it might be a really damn good TV episode, but wouldn't you rather watch 20 episodes of a whole season instead of the same damn episode? I would. I definitely would. Try to follow this as best as you can. A way of doing this is shortening your streams, planning a moment or two in your stream ahead of time so you can have something special every single time and something that breaks the pattern if you do the same thing all stream. Even better, take it to the next level and do special streams. Special streams are actually great for giving a sense of freshness to the channel. I, for example, had my brother come in and do this weird variant of rock, paper, scissors that we've heard of. Here's a clip of that.
Like this instead of this stab. Yeah, okay, alright. Rock, paper, scissors.
The hell you took? What the hell was that? He took the thing! This is not really something that I usually do, but I got the opportunity to do it, and it went really well. Honestly, I think that's it. There are so many more tips and so many things that I probably forgot already, but this video's being extremely long, and I really have to go to bed because work. If you have any tips of your own, anything that I've missed, please shout them out in the comments down below. That's the nice little line over there, isn't it? Yeah, everyone knows that line. Comments down below. Whoop-de-fucking-do, boy. Seriously, though, put them in the Discord. I don't give a shit. I just want people to learn from their mistakes. I don't want people to go through this 1.5 grind that I did, not knowing the many mistakes that I did. Please take all of these tips and improve on your stream. It really, really does a lot. Every single tip. This is for sure not a video that I'm used to doing, but it's nice and quick and lets me ventilate my thoughts a little bit. Just like Intercore, interaction with my viewers, yes. Don't leave a like, don't subscribe. This is not reverse psychology. Don't go to my amazing channel at www.twitch.tv/Kvik. But if we can hit 500... Thanks.